Subspaces. Let's recall for a moment the definition of a vector space. A vector space over a field F is a set V together with a binary operation plus on V called addition and an operation called scalar multiplication satisfying 6 properties. The first is that V together with addition is a commutative group. Then we have closure under scalar multiplication identity property, associativity of scalar multiplication, and 2 types of distributivity. Distributivity of one scalar over 2 vectors and distributivity of 2 scalars over 1 vector. A subset U of the vector space V is called a subspace of V, written U less than or equal to V, if it is also a vector space with respect to the same operations of addition and scalar multiplication as they were defined in V. From now on, when we see that less than or equal to symbol between 2 vector spaces, we pronounce it as subspace. So that'll be read, U is a subspace of V. Let's prove a nice theorem about subspaces that gives us a way to check that a subset of a vector space is a subspace without having to go through all 6 of those properties. Let V be a vector space over a field F and let U be a subset of V. Then U is a subspace of V if and only if 1, 0 is in U, 2, for all VW in U, V plus W is in U, and 3, for all V in U and K in F, K times V is in U. In other words, U is a subspace of V if and only if U contains the 0 vector and U is closed under addition and scalar multiplication. Let's go ahead and prove this theorem. Let V be a vector space over a field F and let U be a subset of V. The left to right direction is quite trivial. If U is a subspace of V, then by definition of U being a vector space, 1, 2, and 3 have to hold. After all, those properties are included in the properties of being a vector space. Now for the converse. Suppose that 1, 2, and 3 hold. We're going to have to go through all 6 of the properties of being a vector space and make sure that they are all true. We'll do them one at a time. First, that U together with addition is a commutative group. Remember, to be a commutative group, we have to check 5 things: closure, associativity, commutativity, identity, and inverse. We'll check each one at a time. For closure, well, this is given by 2. By 2, addition is a binary operation on U, or equivalently, U is closed under addition. Associativity and commutativity we could do simultaneously because they're both defined by universal statements. And therefore, since they hold in V and U is a subset of V, they hold in U. Identity. We are given that 0 is in U. If V is in U, then since U is a subset of V, V is in V. Since 0 is the additive identity for V, 0 plus V equals V plus 0 equals V. Since V in U is arbitrary, the additive identity property holds in U as well. And inverse. Let V be in U. Since U is a subset of V, V is in V. Therefore, there is negative V in V such that V plus negative V equals negative V plus V equals 0. By 3, negative 1 times V is in U. Also, negative 1 times V is equal to negative V. This is something that you should check if you have not done so already. Since V in U is arbitrary, the additive inverse property holds in U. So U together with addition is a commutative group. Next, we'll check closure under scalar multiplication, but this follows right from property 3 that we're given. By 3, U is closed under scalar multiplication. Next, we could do the associativity of scalar multiplication and the two types of distributivity simultaneously, because once again, they're all defined by universal statements, and therefore, since they hold in V and U is a subset of V, they hold in U. Finally, the scalar multiplication identity. If V is in U, then since U is a subset of V, V is in V. So 1 times V is equal to V, and the scalar multiplication identity property holds in U. Therefore, U is a subspace of V. Let's now look at examples. Let V equal R2. Recall that that's the set of ordered pairs AB such that AB are in R. This is the vector space over R with the usual definitions of addition and scalar multiplication. Let U be the set of ordered pairs A comma 0 such that A is in R. If A0 is in U, then A and 0 are in R, and so the pair A0 is in V. Thus, U is a subset of V. The 0 vector of V is 0, 0, which is in U. If A0 and B0 are in U and K is in R, then A0 plus B0 is A plus B comma 0, which is in U, and K times A0 is KA comma 0, which is in U. It follows from theorem 8.1 that U is a subspace of V. This subspace U of R2 looks and behaves just like R, the set of real numbers. More specifically, we say that U is isomorphic to R. Most mathematicians identify this subspace U of R2 with R and just call it R. In general, it is common practice for mathematicians to call various isomorphic copies of certain structures by the same name. As a generalization of the previous example, if M is less than N, then we say that Rm is a subspace of Rn by identifying A1 through Am in Rm with the vector A1 through Am followed by some zeros in Rn that has a tail end of N minus M zeros. For example, we may say that 2 root 2, 7, negative a half, 0, 0, 0 is in R4, even though it is technically in R7. With this type of identification, we have that R4 is a subspace of R7. Let's look at another example. Let V equal Q3, the set of ordered triples ABC such that A, B, and C are in Q, be the vector space over Q with the usual definitions of addition and scalar multiplication. Let U be the set of triples ABC and Q3 such that C is equal to A plus 2B. Is U a subspace of V? Well, it's clear that U is a subset of V. Since 0 can be written as 0 plus 2 times 0, we see that the 0 vector, 0, 0, 0, is in U. Let ABC, DEF be in U and K in Q. Then we have ABC plus DEF is equal to AB, A plus 2B, plus DE, D plus 2E, which is A plus D, B plus E, A plus D plus 2 times B plus E. And K times ABC is K times AB, A plus 2B, which is KA, KB, KA plus 2KB. These vectors are both in U, and so by theorem 8.1, U is a subspace of V. Consider V equals C, complex numbers, as a vector space over R in the usual way. Let U be the set of complex numbers Z such that the real part of Z is 1. Then U is a subset of V, but U is not a subspace of V because the 0 vector is not in U. After all, 0 is equal to 0 plus 0i, and so the real part of 0 is 0, which is not equal to 1. Another example, let V equal the set of ax squared plus bx plus c such that A, B, and C are real numbers, be the set of polynomials of degree at most 2 with real coefficients over R. Let U be the set of P of X in V such that P of 5 is equal to 0. Let's check that U is a subspace of V. Note that if P of X is equal to AX squared plus BX plus C, then P of 5 is equal to 25A plus 5B plus C. It's clear that U is a subset of V. The zero polynomial P of X equals 0 satisfies P of 5 equals 0, and so the zero vector is in U. Let P of X and Q of X be in U and K in R. Then we have P of 5 plus Q of 5 is 0 plus 0, which is 0, so that P of X plus Q of X is in U. And we have K times P of 5 equals K times 0 equals 0, so that K times P of X is in U. By theorem 8.1, U is a subspace of V. Just a couple more basic examples. Every vector space is a subspace of itself. In other words, V is a subspace of V. The vector space consisting of just the zero vector from the vector space V is a subspace of V. So the set containing 0 is a subspace of V. The empty set, however, can never be a subspace of a vector space because it does not contain a zero vector. Let's finish with a theorem. Let V be a vector space over a field F, and let U and W be subspaces of V. Then the intersection of U and W is also a subspace of V. Proof. Let V be a vector space over a field F, and let U and W be subspaces of V. Since U is a subspace of V, 0 is in U. Since W is a subspace of V, 0 is in W. So 0 is in the intersection of U and W. Let V and W be in the intersection of U and W. So VW is in U and VW is in W. Since U is a subspace of V and W is a subspace of V, V plus W is in U and V plus W is in W. Therefore, V plus W is in the intersection of U and W. Let V be in the intersection of U and W and K in F. Then V is in U and V is in W. Since U is a subspace of V and W is a subspace of V, KV is in U and KV is in W. So KV is in the intersection of U and W. By theorem 8.1, the intersection of U and W is a subspace of V.